All right, guys, welcome back to the Gym Profit Podcast. We are here with Brad McKee. Man, anytime we get to talk mindset when we're supposed to be talking gym owner tactics, we get really excited because we know that this is the stuff that actually moves the needle. So today, we're going to be talking about unified mindset. And that's just like a fancy term that we came up with, but super excited to break it down. So Brad, I'll let you like tee it up and then I'll just jump in and kind of add some stuff as we go.
Yeah, unified mindset. It's this interesting belief, and it's a pattern I noticed in myself a few years ago, and I had a mentor call me out on it. And it is where the way you show up is the way your clients are going to show up. If you show up in a way that says like, I'm very scarce, I'll make exceptions, I'll bend rules just to close a sale or to bring revenue into the business, you will bring on clients who have the same mindset. Likewise, if you need a guarantee that something is going to work, you will attract clients who need a guarantee that something is going to work. And so unified mindset is about really understanding that the way you show up can attract the right people and it can attract the wrong people. Mm-hmm. And that will be very evident in your business with the outcome that you see. So you could feel like you're on a hamster wheel the last few years, running offer after offer, challenge after challenge, and saying like, I don't know why I don't have a gym full of people like I love and that are getting the result. Well, are you actually showing up that way? Or are you being desperate and jumping from program to program and mentor to mentor and coach to coach? Mm-hmm. So it's a thing that's uncomfortable for a lot of owners to kind of like hold up the mirror for themselves and see like, oh, it's me. I'm the problem. Like we've all been there. It's never comfortable. But if you have the courage to do that, the upside is you just have supreme ownership of your outcome. And that's a real core value to me is owning the outcome, good or bad. It's all on me. I think that's the most liberating thing you can ever do as a human being is understand that you control everything.
Yeah, a good way to think about this is like if you're a gym owner, you're a coach, how do you want, like what does your ideal client actually look like and how do you want them to behave in your gym from the sales process to them working with you and your coaches in your facility? Do you want them to be someone that texts you nonstop, that says, what do I eat today? That says, I need a guarantee, that says, I need to think about it, right? And if you're attracting that type of person, chances are you have your belief system aligned with that as well. Yeah. Versus what is the perfect client? Well, they take ownership, they take responsibility, they know that we're just a guide to help them get to where they want to be, but they're ultimately going to do the work, right? And they're not like an I'll think about it kind of person, because that mindset of I need to think about it is why they're not losing weight or why they're not in shape. So, if you're someone that takes action, makes clear decisions, takes responsibility for their outcomes, you'll be amazed at how your staff follows your lead and then how you start attracting clients. And so everything becomes unified, where that was the point of this podcast. You as the owner have a certain mindset and belief system. Your staff starts to adopt that mindset and belief system with some of your coaching and saying, hey, this is what we believe. This is how we do things. And then you'd be amazed like what starts to happen in terms of the clients that you attract. And once you get some of the right clients in, they refer more of the right clients. Our marketing attracts more of those clients because of how we're behaving and how we're thinking. So it's all unified. It's all the same thing. And it starts with you. So it makes no sense for you to say, I want this perfect client that never texts me about what to eat. And then you're over here working with agencies and mentor companies and you're saying, give me a guarantee.
Yep.
It just makes no sense.
It's wild. And it shows up. Owners don't realize that like they're putting this out there. And it's, yes, like you're putting an energy out there and we can get into like the woo component of this, which that's a whole other rabbit hole for me. But even pragmatically, you are using this in the language for all of your outbound things. You are subconsciously putting this into your copy on your website. Like you are doing this on your landing pages. So you are speaking to this exact person, and they are self-identifying, be like, "Oh my God, that's me. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm a scarce person, and like this is what I want. This is a scarcity business."
Mm-hmm.
And so the only way that this changes is you have to change first,
Mm.
and that requires a tremendous amount of belief and faith. You have to have faith that, you know what, if I just take action, even though it's scary, this is going to work out. And if it doesn't work out, something better will come in its place.
Mm.
You start operating from that belief system and mindset. It removes a little bit of that fear. It's scary at first, I'm not going to lie, but your tolerance to it goes up over time. And then you see the fruits of it over time. You start seeing the right people walk in. You'll get your first client where you're like, where have you been? I remember our first dream client like that, Emma O'Heaney. Emma, if you're watching this, shout out. Emma walked in, and I went home to my wife after that consult. And I was like, the best person ever just signed up today. Like, where have these people been? And something we did, and I have owners do, is we wrote out 25 characteristics of our ideal client. And these aren't things like they're a busy mom. Like, that's lazy, ridiculous ChatGPT stuff. It's getting very granular. My ideal client always refers to me. My ideal client pays in full. My ideal client understands that this is a long-term commitment. My ideal client comes in with a positive attitude every single day. So I wrote out these 25 detailed characteristics of my ideal client, and then sure enough, I start noticing these people walk in. Because I'm so focused on that all the time, I start showing up like that all the time. It's why if I enroll in mentorship or sign a coach, I don't go back and forth for 2-3 months on that decision. I take action immediately because that's what I want my clients to do. If there's an option to pay in full and I can do it, great. I'm going to do that because that's how I want my clients to show up. And I understand that the more I do that, the more likely I will attract people who do the same.
Right. And when you start to take responsibility for this, these sort of beliefs, right? Of all right, I'm going to take ownership. Well, then it starts to feel like this marketing BS that you're putting out there that's like 6-week challenges or guarantees or you're going to lose 20 pounds in X amount of time. It starts to not be aligned with your identity. It starts to not be aligned with the type of person that you want in the gym. If you actually wrote out your ideal client and all these pain points, all these characteristics, you would probably not be marketing that way. And so what ends up happening is people aren't confident in who they need to become and the type of people they want in their facility and having this unified mindset. So they just kind of settle and they think of marketing as a necessary evil where they just need something to attract clients. But what actually happens is that's the absolute long way to stay in the same spot because you're going to attract, it's not even the long way to growth. It's the long way to stay the same because you're going to attract people that filter in and out within 90 days that weren't bought into the message that you put out on the front end, that were looking for a guarantee. They're looking for someone else to take responsibility for them losing weight, which is insane. Anyone that runs a guarantee on a weight loss or fitness offer, because we know they have to do the work, right?
Yep.
And so it's just, the way that this relates to mentorship or working with a company like us, we know all we can do is say, look, we've built multiple 7-figure gyms. Okay. What else can we do but give you the path, give you the be the guide to help you shorten the learning curve and not make mistakes? But at the end of the day, same thing as you guys and the type of clients that you want to work with, the people that we want to work with here at FitRev, they make decisions quickly. They implement. They take full responsibility and ownership. They're not looking for us to do everything for them. They're looking to learn from people that have done it and just have a guide to help them along the way.
Bingo. I could not have said that any better. The idea that, I just need to market the way I am right now just to get some clients. And once I get some people signed up and I have the revenue, then I can start doing this in a way that I really believe. It's such a fallacy. It's like when people aren't a giving person. And they're like, well, when I have money though, like that's when I'll be giving.
So
No,
wrong.
you're just, all it's just going to magnify more of what you're already doing. So if
Which is
you're very
taking.
stingy and you're a taker, you're going to do that even more. It's why you see like a lot of people talk. I shared a post about this yesterday, but people talk about wealthy people are awful, blah blah blah. And sure, there are some. There's also extremely giving ones too.
Mm-hmm.
And those people were giving before they had wealth. And so for
Correct.
you, and like as an owner and how this relates to being a gym owner, for you to have the thing that you want, you have to be that way first when you don't have the outcomes. You have to show up that way before the outcomes arrive.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah. A good example of this and why we talk about unified mindset, like all the way through, you know, if you're looking at your business right now and you're thinking, okay, I'm not being the owner that I need to be, or I'm not living by these principles that I want my ideal client in my facility to live by, it starts with you. Okay. So it starts top down, it starts with the owner, and then it goes to your coaches. But when we think about the functions of the business, where it's marketing, sales, and fulfillment, I'd encourage you right now to look at every piece of the business, sales, marketing, fulfillment. And if any of that is not aligned with your beliefs, meaning if you know that you can serve your clients at a higher level on the fulfillment side, if you know that in the sales process you're selling them a 6-week program when you know it's not what they actually need, if you know you're marketing in a way that does not 100% align with your values and your beliefs, you need to fix all of that. And you need to have all of this unified, congruent, and aligned so that you can stop treading water. And so this is one of the first things that we do with gyms. We help you become the person that you need to be. And then that trickles all the way down through through all the core functions of the business. Okay, so what this looks like in real time on the marketing side, you know, what message are we putting out? Are we being clear about who we're for and who we're not for? Do we have a funnel structure that doesn't, you know, get people to make a decision to talk to us based on a price, but instead based on the result, right? So instead of a discount, a result. In the sales process, are we just accepting? We had a conversation yesterday with one of our dear clients. They're just selling a 6-week program because it's easy, because they can do it, because they've had it on repeat. And then we had a conversation yesterday, man, why are these people falling off at month 5 or 6? Well, you had no discussion of long term, right? And so this person, I'll give you guys a perfect example. This person that they sold on a 6-week program, his mindset was, I'm getting ready for golf season. Once golf season comes around, I'm going to cancel. And they only learned about this in the exit interview. Why did we not talk about what this looks like 5 months, 6 months, 10 months out? Because this person is in the belief that golf is sufficient as an expression of their exercise. Like that's all they need to do. We know that's not true, right? So that's a perfect example of like, we're just doing it because it's easy, because we have proof that we can sell a 6-week program and we can do it profitably. Great. But this is why we're treading water. This is why you have cancellations at 90 days, 6 months in. When we know the average lifetime value should be 24 months plus if you're doing a high touch PT and semi-private model.
Yep.
So that's on the sales side. And then on the fulfillment side, are you serving people in a way that would virtually guarantee they get the outcomes they said they wanted? And I would encourage, I would think most people listening to this, if you have people in group classes, if you're not individualizing programming, if you're not supporting them on the 23 hours outside the gym, if you're not helping them overcome their BS beliefs, you can probably serve them better. So do we see how much work needs to be done from the top down to the marketing, to the sales, to the fulfillment, so that we start attracting the right person to our gym?
Yeah, that's why we don't do a 12-week, we're going to totally flip your business. We used to do that. And sure enough, it attracted people who wanted us to fix their business in 12 weeks and pretend like that was doable. It's a long-term process. The long way is the fast way, though. And I wish I knew that starting out. because I did jump from program to program, mentor to mentor, offer to offer. And I was always a little bit better, but then I'd regress. And only when I took the approach of, I'm just going to do this the right way. I'm not even going to worry about how fast this grows. I'm just going to do this the right way. Everything exploded. Not immediately. It definitely had some time where you're at that bottom of the parabolic graph there. But once it started working, it worked really, really fast. So keep that in mind. The long way is the fast way. Commit to this for long term, whatever it is that you do, even if it's not with us, like buy into something long term. Understand that this is going to be, you didn't open a gym just to have it be successful for 1 year. If you're trying to build something that's long lasting, shouldn't you go about doing it with a strong foundation?
100%.
I want my gym to exist long after I'm gone. That's how I'm building it. I'm not building this thing to exit. I'm building this thing to where if it ever closed, my community would be in mourning because it was so valuable to our city. That's what I'm trying to do.
Just a side note on that, Brad is looking at moving and becoming an absentee owner, right? And we talked about, hey, what do we do with Velocity? Do we, open a new one? Do we let this one kind of run its course and open a new one in a new location? Do we go remote, and we have a remote offer we're building? But Brad said something to me when we were discussing this, which was, it's too good to just let go by the wayside, right? And so he's building something where it does run without him, and he's building something where, like he said, it's running far beyond him being there. And so that's what you guys need to be building if you want to last for a long time. And so we'll wrap this up with this. Just an ancillary benefit to working with FitRev. While all you guys are looking for tactics, quick fixes, marketing ploys, all this BS, what actually happens when you work with us is we develop you into the leader that you need to build this type of business, right? And this is what no one wants, but it's what everybody needs. And so once you've worked with enough coaches like us, we've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in mentors, marketing coaches, business coaches, and it's tactic to tactic to tactic. And then finally you realize, man, I got to become someone different here, right? And so if that resonates with you and you're someone that's capable of more, capable of building a business that stands on its own, that provides high value outcomes, that has a marketing strategy that actually feels aligned with that, and you're just thinking, how do I unify this mindset all the way through from leader to coaches to clients in the door? That's what Velocity has built as such a good example, a 7-figure gym. Like, everyone thinks the same. Everyone speaks the same. And so if that's a business that you want to build, we've got your back. We can help you. Fitrevconsulting.com. Fill out an application. You'll talk with us directly. We'll see how we can help. Brad, anything to add before we wrap this up?
No, like there's so much we can dive into this topic because it's such personal development. But I would say if I could give myself advice 4 years ago, it's what you just said at the end there. It's you're going to have to fundamentally become someone different. And it's not doing more of what you've been doing. It's not just working harder for the sake of working harder. Jay and I experienced that this year. We thought we were operating at a high level. We met in person on January 2nd, and our lives have not been the same. I've maybe watched like 1 or 2 movies since then. I barely turned on the TV. Like, everything about me has changed. I'm so focused on the life I want and the behaviors required of that. And when you start doing that, things start moving quickly.
Yeah, it's a different gear. And when you crank that up, it helps to have support so that you stick with it. So as we've cranked things up, Brad and I both have coaches, right? We both have coaches that keep us on track with our health, with our fitness, with our business. We own the same businesses, and we each invest into additional coaches to keep us on track. So anyway, if you're sitting there thinking, man, I've been in the same spot for 2 years, 3 years, even 6 months, you're probably focused on the wrong things. You're probably not building a business that you're proud of. You're probably not, leading by example. And you need to just make a decision that you're going to be a different person that actually performs this way, right? And so if you need support, if you need our help, fitrevconsulting.com. We have spots in our Gym CEOs program, which is not just a marketing offer. We're not going to just build marketing campaigns and teach you tactics. We're going to fundamentally change you as a business owner. And the result will be, we tell all of our gyms, if you're around the 30K mark, we help you double inside of 12 months. So if that sounds good, that sounds interesting, go ahead, click the link in the description, fitrevconsulting.com, fill out an application. We'll see how we can help. See ya.